Hello, hello, hello. This is Jackie coming live. I just want to get on and talk for a second because I didn't get to finish yesterday. But I'm very upset that Trump feels that he can very much exploit the athletes when they stand or whether they sit or kneel. And he makes it a big deal about disrespecting the veterans when I feel that he's disrespected the veterans in the most highest way. And talking to a veteran, I think the biggest thing was with, you know, well, there's actually two big things. One, he missed a pivotal point. He wants to spend money on this, big show for cause of veterans to come out. He missed a pivotal point when he was invited to Paris, and it was 100-year celebration. And because of rain, he didn't go. To me, it is so cowardly, and I don't understand how any veterans wouldn't speak about it. Although, I mean, a lot have, probably not part of his group. Maybe they're scared to speak, but all the veterans that I've talked to are just outraged. Like, you talk about veterans and how you support them, but you've killed a few bills for them, and then you didn't even speak. This was a pivotal moment for you to speak, but no, you could tweet before you got off the plane to make the Paris, I don't know, what do you call him, president? I'm not sure, but you can make him upset, but you couldn't even think to tweet anything about our veterans. And this is a 100-year anniversary. This is huge. I mean, people don't want to talk, GOP people don't want to talk about Obama, but he would have went and said something. He could have went and said anything, and people across the world, veterans and veterans family, would have been so happy. You know, it seems like it's a little thing, but it turns into be the little things are sometimes the most important things ever to people. And people who have sacrificed their lives, and some people who are not with us, I mean, they have to be like turning, because this is a time for him to speak about the anniversary, but not only speak about our anniversary. We don't need all that money to go to a big march to show off our, great veterans today. We don't need that. And he could have pivotally spoke on that and made great headway. I don't know the people that are preparing him for this. Of course, I've heard that no one can prepare him for anything because he's his own man. And, that's good for your group of people, I guess, but it's not good for America. America is a melting pot of everything. And for you to slam GOP or any type of veteran, even if it's Democrat veterans, they're bipartisan when it comes to issues. They don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. They don't care if you're gay or straight, because when you're in that hole fighting for your life, they don't care if you're a transgender. They could care less. They want to know, how are you going to fight to protect the person next to you? That's all they care about. So Trump making this a bigger issue about trans fighting. There are transgenders fighting in other militaries besides ours. And you need to just get over it. And you need to start seeking veterans. You made a big deal about this football and them kneeling. You exploited that. You used that to your advantage, but yet because of rain, you could not go. Like, are you serious? Rain? It was your hair going to melt off? Was her hair going to melt off? We could have helped find some wigs for y'all to put on. Something. I'm not being funny, but I mean, it just pissed me off because, we have family members who are in the service, and it just pissed me off that you didn't do anything, say anything that had some great meaning, and you couldn't be there because it rained. They make umbrellas, and none of your staff had umbrellas to put over you and the first lady while you spoke. I don't understand, like, who you're working with. Maybe you need some everyday people, not the rich people, because they seem to forget minor things like an umbrella. You could have had your Trump umbrella out and had Trump on it, no one would have gave a crap. We would have just been so happy as a veterans to just support your cause, but instead you turned it around. I just, for the life of me, don't understand why you felt the need to speak about nationalists right now or before. That is so far from our country. Our country is not a nationalist country. You're making it more violent by speaking that. You know that that caused a lot of people pain and suffering. And our country doesn't want that. I believe that our country wants freedom. I believe we can all live here, support each other. We don't have to turn into whatever culture you want. You can still maintain your values and your morals and your beliefs, but still be able to work together, because that's common sense. I mean, we've been doing it all these years. What, now that you know a person is gay, you don't want to sit next to them? Well, guess what? You don't know who they are, because gay people don't just wear rainbows all over themselves every day, all day. So, you know, this whole big thing that you're pushing to cover up some of the other things, you know, with Jeff Sessions being fired by you, I'm not sure about that either. But I do know some common things that people really, really care about. And I'm not saying that we don't care about Russia. That's already being investigated. We're going to let them handle that and deal with that. But what about everyday issues that people have? You know, you come up, we have at least 8 of us now with disabilities who try and connect with each other and come up with ideas to really help others. And although it's small and we can go at our own pace, doors keep closing for us. You know, I might not be a perfect person to explain everything, but, you know, it would be nice if more people would support us and show them that, you know, the inclusion of everyone means everyone. Yes, there has to be social skills work done, but when you have a child who has autism spectrum disorder, who may not have the social skills that is needed to be in the community, or, you know, if you have an officer who's constantly stopping you, you know, those are the people I want to reach out so that we can talk about these issues and how we can make these issues better and actually go away for you. Also, we have things that can make your life easier. Trump is always pushing this family value first, him and Pence. Well, family values means 2 people, right? For us, it could be a man and a woman, or it could be a man and a man, female, female. For you, it could be a man and a woman. Okay, well, you got to keep that structure together. In order to keep that structure together, and you have a child who has special needs, there has to be respite. So we've come up with different little plans that we'd like to share with you all so that you could take back to your communities and actually try it. So what we want to do is just keep empowering people, you know, at their own pace with their own abilities. We don't focus on disabilities at all. We focus on abilities. We hope to have a conference at some point in time. We'd like to grow our members. You know, we're doing everything on our own. We're not a 501c3, partially because I don't even know how to start that or do that. But the other reason is because what we've noticed, and not all 501c3, some 501c3s, they make billions, but it never goes to the actual people who need it. So we're able to hit the ground and, you know, get to people who actually need it. Of course, it would be majorly great if we had a ADA vehicle, one that's a minivan with, you know, you could just ride the wheelchair right in or something like that. But those are the things that we need to keep going forward to help more people, because I really believe that we help people, and we have lots of people to testify towards that. We just had this big breast cancer care packages that we did. And I'm so happy for the people that accepted them. And I'm happy that some people even bought some. So that kept the doors open a little longer as we went on. And it's a blessing. It's a thing that people can have. And people, I think, may get scared when you say, well, it's a legal way of making money. Yes, it is. It is teaching them tools to cope in this world and be respectful, teaching them values and just teaching them little things. It doesn't have to be, we all can't be doctors. So that's obvious. And everyone can't do school. And some people have developmental disabilities. So it's a work in progress. You know, we have aides that come with two of them, and it's a work in progress. And you know, we just started off little, but we'd love for it to keep growing because, you know, we really care. We really care as parents. We really care as guardians. We really care as just human beings. And I hope that if you're a parent out there who has a special needs child, and of course, with Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos has taken some of the 70-page rights away. I'm hoping that you reach out to me so that we can come up with ideas to actually go to her and sit down and talk to her and explain some of the real life problems that are going on in our schools and as they go in transaction to go to adulthood. We have many autism spectrum disorders, developmental disabilities. We have lots of people turning into adults. And, you know, the same things that they had us growing up from birth to 18 are just not there. So, you know, we need to be making bigger plans on how to make the transition easier. Yes, there are some colleges that you can go to that do accept, you know, developmental disabilities. But at the same time, we have to be realistic and try and find other unique ways to make things work. So if you have a unique way, please reach out to me. We could talk. We don't even have to leave our door. We can talk and interview each other and see where we can go from here. My biggest thing is networking because you never know when someone might need it. You know, I remember us getting on a plane and we were supposed to be there the night before, and my son, he has autism spectrum disorder, and that just put him in a frenzy. Like he was really having a bad and hard time. And the lady at the gate heard me say autism. She stopped what she was doing. She came around. She said, my daughter, my niece has autism, and I really understand what you're going through. And she got me on that plane to get home. And it's people like that, you know. I feel like the autism spectrum community is wide and they really do stick together. You know, I know there's been times when I had to call Autism Speak, like, hey, what do I do? You know, I've just learned so much through the years. You know, it used to be you had to give up custody of your child to get them help. You don't have to do that anymore. You know, yes, there are waiting lists, but what can we do in between the waiting list and use technology to help better our situations, to help try and keep the family structure together? Because let's face it, people who have children with special needs or adult children with special needs, lots of parents wind up self-medicating, be it alcohol, drugs, or worse, death. I mean, you know, the kids are here and they need to be cared for, and they need to be cared for by good caregivers. And you do have good caregivers, but there are also some bad caregivers. That's why when I hear people say, we don't want gays to adopt, or we don't want them being with kids, you know, some of those people are the most caring people who will show your child love. I don't care what they do in their bedroom. It doesn't involve the children. Who cares? You know, like you're going to give them the love like I have for my son. When I die, you're going to give them that love. Give it to them, because you know what? That's what you dream and hope for as a parent, that you have somebody who will look out for your child. And I just believe that every day that, you know, that's going to happen. This is the first time I've ever gotten into the political ring, and it's been a mess. I'm telling you, the ups and downs and the going forward and straight and back, it's been a mess. But, you know, now that the midterm elections are over, it's like, okay, we can rest and go back to talking about real issues. It doesn't mean that we don't still follow what's going on, because there'll be times when we need to follow what's going on. But it's time to get back to the everyday person. The rich people, they're gone back to their homes and doing whatever it is they do. And, us, we still have to cook and maintain a household and, keep things together. And when you get those calls to go to work or school because they're doing something wrong, you still have to get up and go do that. It doesn't stop at 18. I think every parent knows that. Even if you don't have a child with disability, it doesn't stop at age 18. Your children are going to need you for the rest of their life. Be it getting them into an abusive situation, or teaching them not to run from situations just because this is a growing and you guys weren't raised by the same people, or just giving them a hug requires all the tension. It really does bring the other siblings like, well, where do we fit in? So I mean, I hope today is an opening day for so much, and that you guys will start sending in some questions so that we can talk about things that are important to you, because I know these things are important to me, and I know I'm not the only parent out there who's going through this. And a lot of times parents, they just get tired. It is very hard. It is not easy. It's a day by day thing. Sometimes it's a minute by minute thing. And getting help is very difficult. So I'm going to ask you to reach out to ARC Foundation. They are very, very good foundation who helped me when I was in need. There's so many others, and it doesn't matter if we accept all people here. We don't have any race, color, religious, whether you're gay, whether you're straight. We don't care about all of that. We just want to focus on your abilities and see whatever it is that you want to do in your life and try and get you there. That's it. And if we get any help to do that, we're very happy. We'd love to get some builders together that would be willing to work with us. There's just so much that I don't think people understand, like the stress level of a parent who is trying to figure out what the future looks like for their child who has disability, and the reality of it, had they taken away health care, where would that have left my son if I was already gone? You know, so those are things that you have to talk to your family about, and your family may not even want to hear it or talk about it. But you have to be realistic, because in life things happen. You can send your kid to school, a regular school, a regular child, whatever normal is, and you could have a mass shooting there, and you just never know from day to day. But the one thing that autistic people or Down syndrome or anyone that follows in the scope of developmental disabilities always thought that they would be taken care of. And now it looks like it's a big toss and turn. So families who weren't into politics, families who are scared about the outcomes, family who is worried about, hey, is my son going to be accepted because he's Black, because this is a nationalist movement, or Hispanic, or just a bunch of things that now parents are fearing. And it's something that we shouldn't even be fearing. Like, this isn't even something that we should be fearing at all. I mean, I know the new generation is more open-minded, and hopefully they will continually to be more open-minded and take over where some of these older generations are still stuck quite far back. And one thing it did open my eyes to is the medical community. And I'm hoping and praying every day that, they don't start this stuff that they've been trying to do for quite some time. And that's the Religious Restoration Act basically says that if you're LGBT or whatever the religion is, they can deny you service or food or even medical attention. I mean, these are still things that we keep an eye out on, and we watch, and we, ACLU goes out, files, HRC, I want to thank them, GLAD, just so many things, people you want to thank, Black Caucus, women's rights groups. I am just so proud to be a woman today. I mean, really, really proud. Really, really proud. I'm not sure who that, I think her name was Sandy or Kathy, and she made a joke about hanging, or maybe it wasn't a joke. It was disgraceful, no matter what it is. So, all women aren't good women, but I tell you one thing, I'm proud. I'm proud. I am so proud, I can say this, of being a woman today, because women are finally speaking up about what's going on and what's been going on, and saying we're not going to tolerate it anymore. And to me, that's a great, wonderful thing, to not be able to say, hey, no more. PTSD, it's a hurtful thing, and it really hurts a lot of people. So this will be one lesson thing, if we can just keep people to understand that no means no. And I'm just wanted to say and close out with, if you are a parent and you're struggling with your kids' homework or school, please know you are not alone. If you're a grandparent raising a grandchild, you're not alone. There are many, many, many people out there raising their grandchildren and raising their grandchild, sometimes to parent. So don't be embarrassed to leave a message. Leave a message. We'll get you hooked up with some services. Please, you're not alone. I just want you to know you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. And you're a good person for trying to hang in there as long as you can. And, also more important is to start thinking about plans for, the future. And it's a hard thing to do, because even me and Cheryl, we don't even want to talk about it. And it's like, I know it's something that we have to talk about, because my kids obviously are going to take over, their brother, taking care of him. There's no question about that. But still, funerals bring out sometimes the worst in people. So you want to make sure everything is handled way before that time comes. So we're not wishing death on people, but what we are wishing is that we all take responsibility and somewhat give, um, recommendations of people who might be really good for people with disabilities. So we'd like to hear that. And please, again, if anyone wants to speak, please just leave a message. I'll reach out to you and we'll get in touch, and maybe you can come on the show here. Thank you. Bye. And have a good day. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, all.